Hammond Redevelopment Commission meeting to order on this Thursday. It's a special Thursday. Today was National Day of Prayer. It is May 5th. Meeting will begin. Can you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence after? Commissioner Myers, can you lead us, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Can we get a roll call on tonight's commissioners?
Tomich, Soto Presley,
Here.
Myricks,
Here.
Poppridge.
Here, for the record, tonight we have 3 present with 2 absent. All right, number 3, declaration of conflict of interest. Okay, number 4, communications.
None were received.
Okay, brings us to number 5. We got a big exciting project here with Huhtamaki. That's the determination of compliance with redevelopment plan for Hammond Central Redevelopment Area, Indianapolis Boulevard sub-area for Huhtamaki at 6629 Indianapolis Boulevard. And I think we have some people here from Huhtamaki, so yes. Got Mr. Rich Plastic. He's the plant manager there. If you like to give us a little overview of this project.
Sure. Good evening, folks. President Hopridge, Redevelopment Commission. We're excited to be here. Especially, I've served as plant manager in Hammond and have worked there at the plant for some 33 years. So this is an exciting opportunity for us. Grew up in Hammond. So it's been fun to see all the different projects and expansion and growth and good things, and excited about this at this stage of my life and career. We are excited to talk about our proposed project. We are looking at adding some 250,000 square foot addition to our existing facility in Hammond. This is going to be an investment of nearly $100 million. We're looking at adding some 100 additional positions, jobs. And these jobs will average over some $50,500 each of those jobs. Our current facility, we have about 120 employees. And we have been there. It's exciting because next year, 2023, is going to be our 75th anniversary in Hammond. Yeah, so we're excited. Just the timing is wonderful. As we work through permitting and thing, we're looking to break ground as soon as possible to get this project going. We would love nothing more than to have this building done and completed late this year, early in next year, and get that first line up and going and start recruiting people and hiring and bringing on folks as soon as possible. Just want to thank everyone from the city. You've been very good. You've worked with us arm in arm on this project. Huhtamaki is a very large company. In North America, we have some 18 operations and some 4,000 people. Worldwide, we're in some like 38 countries and some 20,000 employees. And so for Hammond to really win this opportunity, or to earn, and for our team to earn this opportunity, you all played a big part of this, because there were other opportunities and other choices, but the company believes in the plan, it believes in the city. You have always been very supportive of us, and we're very, very thankful for that. Is there any, President Hopridge, any questions or anything for me?
Even you guys, you've been supportive to the things you've sponsored, some of our events through the city over the years too, so we appreciate that too.
Okay.
To have that relationship with you.
Excuse my ignorance. I've seen that company for 50 years.
Sure.
What do you do there?
Okay, excellent question. We are a molded fiber facility. We were green as far as recycling and sustainability before it really was even thought of. We take curbside recycled paper, and different types of shredded paper in, preventing it from going into landfills, and we produce packaging products. We currently produce packaging, you've all used them, the 4-cup drink carriers at the fast food restaurants. The odds are it's come from Hammond, regardless of where you've got it from. We produce egg flats, filler flats for eggs, and we make stadium trays. If you go to one of the stadiums and get your hot dogs and your drinks, the molded fiber trays, those are all made in Hammond, Indiana, from paper source, keeping it out of the landfill. Thank you for your question, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Glass.
Okay, thank you.
Brian Poland, if you'd like to come up and give us your whole overview of this project.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Certainly want to thank Mr. Blasek for that presentation. I think we're all agreed that this is a great opportunity for Hammond. And you have been presented all the drawings that we have received at this point in time. The staff, of course, is continuing to work through all of the details to get it ready for the final permitting process. But we're at the step right now of kind of making sure we have a determination of compliance that this project is in compliance with the redevelopment plan. This actually falls into the Indianapolis Boulevard sub-area of the Hammond Central Redevelopment Area Plan, and that sub-area was created in 2017. In the report that you should have, I go through various aspects of the various goals and objectives. These are just selected goals and objectives that are in the plan that called out that is primarily relevant for this plan, or for this project, excuse me. It doesn't mean that this project doesn't comply with any of the other goals and objectives, but these are just selected ones for reference. The project, the property, they did include, they have purchased adjacent Pizza Hut building, but at this point that will not be a part of the overall development, but they are going to expand on their current site. There are some technical things yet to be worked out, but I would say that just going down to the last part of my report, the staff does recommend that the Redevelopment Commission make a determination that the proposed Hunamaki project at 6629 Indianapolis Boulevard is in compliance with the redevelopment plan for the Hammond Central redevelopment area, Indianapolis Boulevard sub-area expansion area, subject to 1, the final city department reviews and approvals, 2, there's some state and county level approvals, 3, the completion of the rezoning and the subdivision processes, and there was some clarification we needed on the signage that may or may not need approval from the Board of Zoning Appeals.
I so move.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion then by Commissioner Myrick, seconded by Commissioner Soto Presley. Is there any further discussion or questions for Mr. Poland or the representatives here that are representing Hunamaki today? Okay, then let's have a roll call, please.
Talmadge, Soto Presley,
Yes.
Garay, Myricks,
Yes.
Poppridge.
Yes, motion passes with 3 yes and 2 absence. Okay, second item here kind of goes together with this as well. An approval of development agreement between the City of Hammond, Indiana, City of Hammond, Indiana Redevelopment Commission, and Hunamaki, Inc.
So you want to explain this?
I mean, I can, but I'll let you go. You want to?
Okay.
I'll follow it up after you get done.
Okay, Africa's going to get anything I miss here. So.
Right.
The development agreement that's before you calls for an incentive, and I think Rich laid out, kind of the project and what kind of the benefit that the city's getting in terms of, I think it's $60 million in real estate improvements and $40 million in personal property improvements, 106 jobs, annual salary average of a little bit over $50,000. The incentive that the staff has negotiated, we're asking you to approve tonight, is that Huhtamaki would be able to apply through the UEA for the enterprise zone investment deduction, or the easy deduction, that we would support that, and that the city council would support it. That deduction is a 100% deduction for 10 years on the increased value, so the real estate, so the 100 million and the personal property, so the 100 million combined, they would get if successful, a 100% abatement, essentially. And that's the incentive for this project. And we take 35 pages to say that in the development agreement, but that's what we're essentially asking you to approve tonight.
I so move.
I second that.
I think Rich was going to fall over there for a second. He didn't get the second right away.
Well, you gotta sometimes give a little bit over time to get a big result in the end.
And I would just note, for purposes of the record, because I know people have different feelings about abatements, but this abatement applies to the increase in value, right? So they're going to continue paying what they've paid, right? This is on the increase. And as Rich kind of alluded to, this was a competitive process.
Very much
So we would not, had we not offered an incentive, I would argue that our chance of getting this increase in investment was severely minimized, if not 0% chance. So in the competitive process, I think we worked with their representatives. It was a fairly easy and collegial working relationship with them, and the negotiations went pretty well.
Thank you, Attorney Westland, for pointing that out here to everyone today. All right, there's still a motion on the floor, and the motion's been made by Commissioner Myrick, seconded by Commissioner Soto Presley. Let's have a roll call then, please.
Tomich, Soto Presley,
Yes.
Garay, Myricks,
Yes.
Poppridge.
Yes, motion passes, 3 yes, 2 absent.
Congratulations.
Okay, Number 7 is approval of development agreement among the City of Hammond, Indiana, City of Hammond Redevelopment Commission, and NWI Hammond LLC.
Anastasia, start.
So members of the commission, if you look at the screen, we have Anastasia Fratto, who is here to present regarding this exciting project that's taking place in downtown Hammond. It's an exciting residential mixed-use development that she will give you an overview, and after that, Attorney Westland will discuss the incentive that is being offered at this time. So Anastasia, if you like, you can begin now.
Thank you, Africa. Thank you. My name is Anastasia Fratto with NWI Development Group. Our offices are located at 100 Anchor Road in Michigan City. And we're really pleased to be in front of the commission this evening for the redevelopment of Bank Calumet building. It's been, we've been working with the city of Hammond for several months on the plans and vision, kind of on the piggyback of what the city has set out as far as the transformation of downtown Hammond. And the building is located on the corner of Hammond Avenue and Fayette. Our plan is to convert this vacant office building into mixed use, including apartments and commercial on the ground floor. The building is 100,000 square feet and will include 100 apartments and about 10,000 square feet of commercial. We're looking at about 30% of will be studios, 30% will be convertibles, about 35% one bedrooms, and the remaining units will be 2 bedrooms. But all of the units are market rate. The building will also include a number of amenities for the residents, a fitness center, a co-working lounge in the old banking hall, which will be really beautiful to keep some of that beautiful banking hall on the ground floor as part of an amenity for the residents. So we're excited to bring this development to downtown Hammond and be part of the transformation here, and certainly appreciate all of the staff and the city's time working with us to get us here tonight. So thank you.
Thank you. Would you like to add anything else to that, Mr. Scarver or Dave?
With regard to the project itself, it's defined on page 8, I think, pretty well, and Anastasia just talked about. The 100 units of residential are at market rate. Additionally, 10,000 square feet of commercial space. You know, I think if you talk to Ann in Africa, they would tell you that according to Mr. Speck's plan, that this building is kind of the linchpin of the development of downtown. So I think they're pretty excited about the fact that the Bank Calumet building is being repurposed, saved, rehabilitated, however you want to put it. But it is kind of the linchpin to the whole plan for down there. With regard to the investment, it's, you know, approximately a $25 million investment. On page 17, we talk about what, I'm sorry, starting on page 16, the incentives. And the incentives are as follows. Number one, there's $150,000 in the facade rebate program. That's to help with kind of some of the costs on the facade, specifically the upper floors and converting those into apartments. And then the larger item, which is a bond incentive in the amount of $5 million, which is paid via TIF, which is again an increase in the assessed value. That's going to pay back the proceeds of that bond, and that bond will be sold on the open market. The developer is receiving the proceeds in 3 separate tranches, because we always like to kind of make sure they're moving along before we cut the check, and that's on page 17, with $2 million once they commence construction, which I think if you ask Anastasia, she would have liked to have commenced already. $1 million when they complete 50% of their rehabilitation, so they'd have $3 million at that point. And then the balance, $2 million, distributed when they've obtained certificates of occupancy for the majority of the residential units. So 51 units of residential, they would get the rest of the proceeds. Importantly, and in terms of protection of the city, as part of this, and it's not at part of your packet yet, but it's talked about on page 17, is a minimum taxpayer agreement. And what the minimum taxpayer agreement is going to say in probably more than 35 pages, that essentially they've agreed that they're not going to pay less than, regardless of what the assessor's office assesses this at, they will not pay less than $250,000 a year in property taxes. So we know that we will have the money to pay back the bond, which is their incentive, right? So we have that safety net that's built into the documents in this bond structure.
I was just going to say that is a good safety net to have in place.
And that is $250,000 is the net on the increment, plus, for instance, if the school city goes out for another referendum or whatever, that's over and above, right? So they don't, it's not 250 minus that number. We know we're getting 250. Or we know the county is getting 250, which will get put into the TIF. And I think that's basically the sum and substance of the incentive. It's about 20% of the overall investment, which is in keeping with your historical practice.
So I'm good with all of that. And I know this is like the centerpiece of this. I only have one question. It says, approximately 100 units of market rate rental apartments. Will there be any subsidized apartments in here for like Section 8 people, or is it just
No,
all market rate?
it's market rate. So all of the, if you look at that beginning prefatory definitions, all the units have to be market rate. And I think we used approximately 100 residential units because we wanted to give them some flexibility if they get a demand for a couple extra 2 bedrooms or whatever, and they get 95, I don't think anyone's gonna complain, right? Like, so, instead of saying you have to have exactly 100 units, that's why we use that terminology.
Very good.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion for approval of the development agreement among the City of Hammond, Indiana, City of Hammond Redevelopment Commission, and Northwest Indiana Home and LLC.
Second.
We have a motion then by Commissioner Soto Presley, seconded by Commissioner Myricks. If there's no further questions or discussion, roll call then, please.
Tomich, Soto Presley,
Yes.
Gray, Myricks,
Yes.
Poppridge.
Yes, motion passes 3 yes, 2 absent.
And this is terrific, because I think I've been promising you guys this
Congratulations.
development agreement for like 2 months, so it's here.
Yeah, and I apologize that I'm not there in person. I really wanted to be there in person with you all, but thank you.
Thank you.
Just put me a unit in the basement in case I'm in the doghouse. All righty. Brings us to number 8 then, approval of development agreement between the City of Hammond and the City of Hammond Redevelopment Commission and Lynn's Enterprises LLC.
Hi, Zach, how are you?
Doing well. Thank you all for having us here. My name is Zach Lins. I'm with Meats by Lins. We are currently a 4th-generation family-owned company. We've been currently located in Calumet City ever since '63. We luckily, due to double-digit growth year over year, we have been working with Hammond on a new project, taking their current facility from 60,000 square foot to 120,000 square foot. The total overall project is estimated around $30 million in investment. Our current employees that we would be bringing over would be about 320 jobs. And our current average rate within our wages is $27 an hour. And again, thank you all for having us, and been super excited working with Hammond on this project over the past few months.
Thank you so much. It's been great working with you as well.
Yes.
So on this one, 628 Hoffman Street, another property that you've heard me talk about before. We've had other folks kind of kick the tires, so to speak, around 628 Hoffman, and
Former Queen Anne property.
right, and Meats by Lentz was really the first one that came forward with a solid, real, like brick and mortar, like you could kind of wrap your arms around it. And as they've indicated, it's roughly 30 million, although the last time I talked to one of their representatives, it was even a little bit north of there, but I won't hold them to it tonight. In an investment in a piece of property that is challenging, right? And you guys will remember all the challenges, and we got there's a property next door, and there's a sanitary district owns a piece of property, and we've had to, with Brian's help in planning and development, we've had to kind of combine and reconfigure what this site looks like to kind of get them a piece of property that they could actually use for their purposes in this expansion. And that's part of the incentive. So the incentive is similar to the one with Huhtamaki. It's a 10-year real property and personal property tax abatement through the UEA Easy 2 program. So there's that incentive, but you'll recall that this property at 628 Hoffman is owned by you. And we've put it out for RFP on more than one occasion. In fact, I think, Mr. Myricks, you've said to me when it's come back around, like, didn't we do this one already? And yeah, the answer is yeah, we did, but this time we have a developer that is like ready to rock. I mean, their attorney who's sitting here, as well as their representatives, have been pushing since the fall. They want to break ground and they want to get this thing going, and I'll let them tell you their timeline, but sooner rather than later, like within 60 days, I think you're going to see them doing real construction stuff. So the other part of the incentive is on the bottom of page 9, which is selling the 628 Hoffman, along with a little portion of 700 Hoffman, and kind of what we've been able to combine with the sanitary district to give them a site that's usable. And we're selling it for the appraised price of $622,000, $617,000 of which is a forgivable promissory note and mortgage, which is typical to what you have seen before. They have to begin construction, they've got to get it open, and they've got to operate it in a span of 5 years, and we forgive 20% a year over 5 years of that mortgage. And so that's kind of the term of that. But those are the two incentives, two major incentives contained in the agreement. Number one, the UEA abatement for real and personal property, and number two, the sale of the real estate with a forgivable note and mortgage.
I have no questions. I think this is the highest and best use of this land after all of these years that you've been promising this. But no, I think it's the highest and best use. So I think it's a great thing. I'm actually excited that we have so much on our agenda today.
Well, Africa and Ann have been working real hard, right, to get these things here, and I know we've kind of given you the previews, you know, along the way, so the anticipation, I'm sure, has been high, but, yeah, this property, I don't know if there's a term higher than highest and best use, but this is like, this is the home run of uses for this property, so.
And I would just chime in and say that we've worked with the Meats company for quite a few years, and they've been very interested in the city of Hammond. They've looked at different locations that just didn't seem to work out. So this truly is the perfect fit for the perfect investment at the perfect time.
Mr. President, if there's no further questions or discussions, I'd like to make a motion for the approval of development agreement between the City of Hammond and City of Hammond Redevelopment Commission and Lentz Enterprises LLC.
I'd like to second his motion.
Okay, we have a motion then by Commissioner Myrick, seconded by Commissioner Soto Presley. Let's have a roll call then, please.
Talmadge, Soto Presley,
Yes.
Garay, Myricks,
Yes.
Poppridge.
Yes, motion passes with 3 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Okay, number 9's the acceptance, I'm on a roll, right, of the acceptance of offers of purchase and purchase for redevelopment for property commonly known as 3336 173rd Street.
Members of the commission, you have one response from Jorge Martinez and Aileen Ibarra. They are offering sum of $23,250, and they've attached a site plan and preliminary schedule for the construction of a 2,700 square foot, 2-story home. A budget of approximately $250,000, and they propose to have the project completed by the end of December 2023. They're the only ones that have submitted on this is the Wedgwood property, so I would ask that you refer this to staff, and I'm sure staff will have a recommendation for you in 2 weeks and hopefully a purchase agreement.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Soto Presley, seconded by Commissioner Myrick to refer this acceptance to staff. Can we have a roll call on that, please?
Tomich, Soto Presley,
Yes.
Gray, Myrick,
Yes.
Poppridge.
Yes, motion passes 3 yes, 2 absent to refer to staff.
Want me to read it?
Okay, number 10 is acceptance of offers of purchase and purchase for redevelopment for property commonly known as 120 Sibley Street.
That was the only submission we had.
Okay, so we only have one submission again. The submission is from ATG Real Estate Development, and they're proposing a purchase price of $20,500. And this is part of their overall.
Yes, that's part of their overall development in the downtown area.
So basically the same thing, just for to staff if you like.
I so move.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Soto Presley, seconded by Commissioner Myrick. Let's have a roll call, please.
Tomich, Soto Presley,
Yes.
Gray, Myrick,
Yes.
Poppridge.
Yes, motion passes 3 yes, 2 absent to refer to staff.
And only one.
Number 11 is acceptance of offers of purchase and purchase for redevelopment for property commonly known as 103 Rimbach Street.
Again, members of the commission, you have one response, and it's from ATG Real Estate Development. They propose a purchase price of $16,000, and this is also part of their downtown project. So I would, again, ask that you refer it to staff.
So moved.
I second that.
We got a motion by Commissioner Myrick, seconded by Commissioner Soto Presley. Let's have a roll call then, please.
Tomich, Soto Presley,
Yes.
Gray, Myrick,
Yes.
Poppridge.
Yes, motion passes 3 yes, 2 absent. All right, number 12 is approval of deeds and dedication.
In your packet, you have 2 deeds of dedication that you need to approve, which is they are part of the realignment of Homan Avenue. And what these deeds do is they dedicate parcels identified in the legal descriptions, which, quite frankly, I received from Dean, because I don't know it. I can show them to you on a map, but it's a small sliver of property that needs to be dedicated as part of the realignment of Homan Avenue, to make it part of Homan Avenue so that we can kind of move forward with the downtown project. So it'd just be a motion to approve the deeds of dedication.
I make a motion to approve the deed of dedication.
I second your motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Myrick, seconded by Commissioner Soto Presley. That's the approval of deeds of dedication. Let's have a roll call, please.
Tomich, Soto Presley,
Yes.
Gray, Myrick,
Yes.
Poppridge.
Yes, motion passes 3 yes, 2 absent. All right, that brings us to number 13, approval of quote for a new security camera system at 5209 Holman Avenue.
Members of the commission, if you look in your package, you will find 2 quotes for a security camera system for 5209 Holman Avenue. As you know, this is a commercial property that's owned by the Redevelopment Commission. One of the quotes is from Tri Electronics, and the other one is from Vermilion. Upon review of these, we received these quite a while ago, so I did ask the Executive Director of Hammond Development Corporation, Jennifer Bussey, to get some updated quotes, and she was able to get one from Vermilion, but she was not able to get an updated quote from Tri Electronics. But if you look, the 2 quotes are somewhat comparable. The most recent one from Vermilion is $10,052.65 for interior and exterior cameras at the 5209 site. And the quote includes the hardware as well as light catcher and the actual installation as well.
Would you like to say anything, Ms. Bussey? Please come up.
Good evening. This system was put in previous to us owning occupying the building. It's over 20 years old. The biggest problem was when we were going to fix a camera that was on the system. It's so old, you can't purchase the camera. It isn't compatible with today's technology, so the entire system has to be redone. Vermilion Systems has also put in our cameras at 2 other locations that we manage, and we've been very happy with them. They're very responsive. When I asked for an updated quote, he gave it to me within 15 minutes. We've always had really good luck with them, and they are a company that works with the city as well. If there's any questions or anything I can clear up, let me know.
Thank you, Jan.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you.
Motion on one of these.
To approve one of them.
Yeah, we need a motion to approve one of these, so
Okay, so we want to go with Vermilion?
it's up to you. I mean, they've done work in the past.
Okay. Mr. President, if there's no other discussion or questions, I'd like to make a motion for the approval of the quote for Vermilion Services for the new security system at 5209 Holman Avenue.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion then by Commissioner Myrick, seconded by Commissioner Soto Presley. If there's no further questions or discussion for Ms. Bussey, or let's have roll call then, please.
Talmadge, Soto Presley,
Yes.
Gray, Myrick,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes, motion passes, 3 yes, 2 absent. All right, number 14 is our bills, register of claims.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to pay the Register of Claims for April 11th, 2022 through April 29, 2022 for Register of Claims R61462 through R61520 inclusive.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Soto Presley, seconded by Commissioner Myrick. That's our register of claims dating April 11th, 2022 through April 29th, 2022. Claims R61462 through claim R61520. Is there any questions on these claims for staff? Okay, they seem to be all in order then. Let's have a roll call, please.
Talmadge, Soto Presley,
Yes.
Gray, Myrick,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes, motion passes, 3 yes, 2 absent. Okay, number 15's reports. Ms. Africa Tarver, would you like to share anything today or tonight?
Well, just basically how excited I am. I mean, there's really not much else to say after we've approved 3 major projects. It definitely speaks to how hard we work with the city of Hammond. We work very well as part of a team, always trying to move the city forward. As Attorney Westland has said before, it's really been very difficult trying to keep a lot of this underneath our hat, but that's basically the nature of economic development. We've worked very closely with these companies. Today is a very good day for Hammond to see all this come to fruition. In addition to the projects that went forth today, we had a wonderful prayer breakfast that we hold annually, and we have a Cinco de Mayo celebration this afternoon. So this definitely speaks to the city of Hammond and how much we try to move things forward, not only for our for-profit and our business community, but also for quality of life for our citizens in the city of Hammond.
I agree, well said, Ms. Tarver.
Thank
I'd
you.
just like to give a special recognition, thanks to all of the economic and planning development, especially our community development department, Sawana Miller and Andrea Lewis for the prayer breakfast. It was a great event today. I was happened to be able to attend, so it was very blessed to attend that today, so thank you.
Definitely.
All right, then, number 16's new and unfinished business. I think we have a couple items tonight.
We do. Members of the commission, we have, for the first item, we have from Americo, and I believe Zach was on the screen, but he's not any longer, but I can discuss this. So a parcel of land that you own located at 124, 137th Street has been vacant for quite a while, and we've had some increased interest in it. So what we wanted to do was some environmental work on it to see some basic site investigation to see various things that we may need to do to make the site developable for future investment. And in your packet, you have the proposal from Americo for site investigation for $26,605. And the scope of work is identified with the background work, and the scope of work will be the phase 2. So upon the review, upon receipt of the results from this, then we'll know what next steps we may need to take in order to make the site shovel-ready.
Oh, I'm sorry. So how should I put the,
Motion to approve the
Proposal.
proposal from Americo for the property at 137th Street.
I so move. Thank you.
Yeah, normally Mr. Blosky would be here, but thank you. And we have then a motion from Commissioner Soto Presley, seconded by Commissioner Myricks. Can we have a roll call then, please?
Talmadge, Soto Presley,
Yes.
Garay, Myricks,
Yes.
Popperidge.
Yes, motion passes 3 yes and 2 absent.
So members of the commission, the second item for consideration tonight is permission for soil borings for the property on the southwest corner of Sibley and Holman Avenue in Hammond. As you know, that is the proposed site for the Plaza Square development, which will be the 200 residential units on Holman Avenue. And the purpose of the soil borings is to gain conclusive information regarding subsurface elements so that they can begin construction. In your package, you'll see they identified various sites that are identified within the boundaries of the property. So they're requesting permission to do borings at B, I think it's identified, but definitely they also included B2 today. And we do have Kathy Harris in the audience from ATG if you have any questions. But this is just a basic request for soil borings for the property located on the southwest corner of Sibley and Holman Avenue.
You'll remember, this is the property that we're ultimately going to sell to ATG. We haven't closed on that transaction yet. Obviously, if we had closed on it, they wouldn't be here asking us for permission, right? So this is to give them a jump start. And so you have to give them, as the owner still, even though they have an interest by virtue of the purchase agreement, you own it, so you have to give them permission to do this. So it would be a motion to approve the request for soil borings and site work at the corner of, southwest corner of Sibley and Holman.
So moved.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Myrick, seconded by Commissioner Soto Presley. Let's have a roll call then, please.
Talmadge, Soto Presley,
Yes.
Garay, Myricks,
Yes.
Popperidge.
Yes, motion passes 3 yes, 2 absent.
I didn't realize it was on the agenda.
That concludes new and unfinished business. All right, number 17 is public comment. It is open now. Public comment is open. If anybody would like to come forward and speak, you have 3 minutes, so. Okay, public comment is closed then. Public Comment is closed. Number 18.
Mr. President, I make a motion to adjourn.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second. Can you all signify by aye?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Meeting is adjourned.